See, one person a lot of people are starting to forget about is Edgar Berlanga. After leaving Top Rank and being stashed in the zone, and for further development, I feel like he's definitely gonna be on target as far as for ready for his next match. Because right now he's been sitting back for a while now, trying to retool and do different things. Now I'm gonna have to do some further information on a lot of other things as far as who he's training with now. I haven't really did much research on that, but I don't think he's with Andre Rozier right now. This guy who was just used by Demetrius Andre. So I don't really know where he's going, but if he's looked better since he left, that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to observe later on. If Berlanga has looked better since leaving his last trainer, because a lot of people have chose to leave different trainers recently, and it's helped them. A lot of guys have done it. Ryan Garcia has done it. His defense didn't look good last fight when he was doing, but as far as his offense and his counter and different things, he was doing an amazing job. So he's definitely someone that I would watch out for as far as being a guy who's at that level. That's definitely someone I watch out for. I mean, yeah, we was comparing Berlanga to Benavidez for a while, and they had similar opposition as far as Alexis Angulo. So it's just different things people were seeing that they thought possibly he wasn't at that level yet. So right now we kind of got young guys that's coming into the mix. Well, they're not young anymore; they're starting to come into age. But we got a couple of guys now that's been saying about opportunity and who they'll fight and different things like that. Like what they gonna realize soon is it's always gonna be a new group of guys coming in. They think, well, we're the young group. You got younger guys coming in now, just like with Devin Haney and Shakur and all these guys going back and forth about one fight. You got 50 fights with other guys that could be lined up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why guys like Devin Haney staying busy, because just like Berlanga, he gonna stay busy. He gonna fight Jason Quigley in February. So that's gonna be something that a lot of people aren't really paying attention to as far as that 168 division. And a reason why David Morrell hasn't called out Munguia or Berlanga, that's an issue for me. Because if you really try to fight everybody, call out everybody. Don't call out the top guy and be like, oh, I deserve him. If I don't fight him, I ain't gonna fight nobody. Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah, call out these other guys too, man. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, call-outs don't work, which I'm a person that says the call-out stuff is kind of like a joke. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna do it to a guy who's actually closer to your level than a guy who just had a top fight at your weight class. That's all I'm saying. As far as with Berlanga, he's not really shouting out names. He said possibly if I line myself up. The only thing I've heard Berlanga say is if I possibly line myself up with the right fight, I could possibly fight Canelo at the end of the year. Which I feel like that's gonna be the fight that everybody didn't realize is gonna happen. I feel like Berlanga have more chance of a fight in September than Benavidez will. Thinking that Benavidez will fight Berlanga in September? Nah. The whole boxing world knows that Benavidez ain't gonna stop and stay at 168 until September. Not unless he got a fight lined up. He's not gonna be fighting at 168 at the end of this year and then be like, oh well, I'm just gonna keep cutting weight. He's cutting a lot of weight, man, so that's not gonna happen. And it's hard to find competition at 168. You see how Berlanga, he fighting Jason Quigley. So right now they're gonna have to figure it out, man. That division's getting loaded. There's a lot of guys who's not really waiting around trying to figure out who's next and where they need to fit in. They gonna make their own way. A lot of these divisions, all they gotta do is fight somebody or each other. If they don't fight each other or somebody, well, it's not gonna be really valid to anybody, not the boxing business. That's why a lot of guys like Mungian people, they starting to realize like, okay, let me figure out this thing as far as these top fights and kind of ease my way into it. They've been easing their way into it, but it's time to show up, because now they starting to realize. If you don't realize now, let's just say I'm Mungia in Berlanga, and I'm like, well, Benavidez thing might happen, it might not. If that don't happen, hey, David Morrell gonna be at 168, and David Morrell in Berlanga is an excellent fight. That's probably like a year or two away from happening, but that's an excellent fight. I would love to see that. I know Berlanga has had some trouble in a couple of wins, but I feel like he's definitely capable still. He's not a terrible fighter. He's a very good fighter. He just got to do a couple of things. Like these trainers, man, they got to do better on these fighters too, man. You know what I'm saying? These trainers got to get better, especially on the fundamentals. We got American trainers right now, man. They starting to look bad on the fundamentals. Now everybody's starting to realize, oh, Bo McIntyre, he's a good trainer. He's been a good trainer. What? This dude been a good trainer. Everybody he trains looks better after he trains with them. He's been a good trainer. So that's what people gotta realize. Berlanga, he's just trying to show what he got. That's all it is. Not really much. Just gotta prove himself. Especially at that division, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this 168, it's not really a game. A lot of guys right now, they I feel like 168 got a lot of guys that's too big for 168, but it's like, I don't know, man. I guess the shutdown kind of kept things a lot of guys got bigger after the shutdown. If y'all ain't noticed. If y'all ain't noticed, that's why I gotta give Tank Davis credit. Because a lot of guys after the shutdown, they blew up. And only a couple of guys were still on weight, or as far as was able to make weight easily. The other guys, they were struggling. So I feel like that's definitely something that is going to be an advantage. But I feel like Berlanga's good, though. His weight, his power, his speed, it's going to be everything that's going to carry him well in the division. It's just that now he just has to work on a few fundamental things and pick up some good habits as far as punching back and responding and just little different things he's been doing. Just got to do a little bit more. But it's definitely going to be a loaded February, though. They got a lot of cards coming up. January, it's going to have a few activities. It's going to be very, I don't know. It's going to be very active. A lot of days, a lot of weekends these next couple of months, especially in January and February. But I got a couple of guys at 168 that's starting to come around now, as far as with Christian and Billy and David Morrell. They're starting to form up now, but we're going to see how it turns out at the end of this year. But I feel like at the beginning of this year, 168 is going to be a loaded division, and it's going to show a lot that we have to offer. But that's all I got, though. Like and subscribe.